Hey everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So TRG is doing wonderful work as usual and posted this documentary that I didn't know about that came out last September. And she puts the full documentary on here and invites people. She challenges us. Do you see any subliminal messaging? And of course, that's one of my passions, looking for the subliminal messaging. So yeah, I'm gonna get. Although I kind of suck at it too at the same time. It's definitely a challenge for me. But I'm gonna do my best here and give my instant reaction. First time. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I haven't watched it yet. Let's just see how it goes. Let's see what I can spy with my little.
See if you can spot examples of subliminal manipulation. Put them in the comments and let me know what you think.
Meghan Markle has become a divisive figure.
Oh, not Meghan and Harry have become a divisive figure, which is more accurate. No, they're just pointing to Meghan Markle. It's all about her.
She's someone who really sees herself as the hero of her own story.
What is it that drives her?
I think the jury is still out on who is the real Meghan.
Now, a group of psychiatrists, psychologists, and branding experts will undertake an unauthorized assessment of Meghan's psychology.
Well, first of all, any legitimate psychology or psychologist knows that you cannot do a proper analysis on someone from afar. You have to meet the person and sit with them. So this right there shows these people are frauds, in my opinion. But also a lot of the therapists, and if you watch Carolyn Borisenko, she shows that a lot of the socialist, communist lefties have become gone into psychology, especially out of Colombia. A lot of therapists, because they're pushing the gender affirming care, quote unquote, type of thing. They're pushing communism. So I wonder the background of these psychologists off the bat.
Masking depression will hurt you in the long run, and it did hurt her.
These experts will analyze her public appearance.
See, already they're claiming, the psychologist is claiming she was depressed. Was she? Were you treating her? She noticed she never went to a doctor. Or it's like, and this is one of the things people said when Meghan's lie about in my opinion, about being depressed when she was allegedly pregnant. She had a doctor. If she was really pregnant, why didn't she talk to the doctor? Why didn't the doctor see anything? She has the best psychiatric care she could get through the royal family with their connections. She never saw anybody, but we're supposed to believe she was severely depressed. She's never talked to any professionals about it. But here, this so-called psychologist is affirming, yeah, she was depressed. We know that as a fact, which we don't.
Her actions, and her own words.
I never thought that this would be easy, but I thought it would be fair.
To assess her personality.
Meghan is a gladiator. In my understanding, there is an overlap with narcissistic traits.
She's a people pleaser. She needs people to like her, accept her.
To understand how her childhood may have shaped her.
Meghan felt that she had to choose one side, black versus white as a child.
To make sense of her motivations.
Meghan is rewriting narratives of black womanhood. She is courageous to say again and again, no, that's not who I am. This is who I am.
There's something that's so engineered that I suppose the problem is it leads us to question what else is engineered.
And explore inside the mind of Meghan Markle. In February 2021, an interview is recorded that will be seen by approximately 50 million people across the world. When Meghan Markle sits down with American chat show host Oprah Winfrey. One revelation in particular will have a seismic impact.
Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time, and ashamed to have to admit it. to Harry, especially, because I know how much loss he's suffered. But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it. And I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
Meghan's harrowing words create a global media storm.
I found it so heartrending to watch.
So how damaging has...
Okay, they bring in Hillary Clinton, so we know the political angle, communist, Marxist angle already.
This widely viewed interview been?
Thank you so much. To someone who understands human behavior, it just may have been the right time for her to open up to the right person. This was her way of speaking truth and being authentic.
For anyone.
Oh my God, she really just said being authentic. Really? Did Meghan write the script for everyone in this thing?
To come forward and speak about their own struggles with mental health. And
another Marxist communist witch from hell who should be in prison right now, but instead she's on the mainstream media. She's paid by the globalists. Jen Psaki.
Tell their own personal story. That takes courage. That's certainly something the president believes.
But that's not how it was perceived, unfortunately. You know, in the royal family, you don't tell people how you feel. You just deal with these things privately. And I think people...
And how would you know? Are you in the royal family?
Saw this as airing dirty laundry.
She was obviously very unhappy. Nobody's taking that away from her. But she knew that she was going to be saying things that would have been explosive to anybody listening.
At the click of the fingers, you're making news across the world.
What led Meghan to make such a heartfelt and public revelation? A psychological understanding of Meghan's motivations means exploring her behavior, emotions, and mental processes.
Psychology is a way for us to understand somebody's motivations, what might make them respond to certain things.
As a psychologist, you get the privilege of going into someone's inner world and understanding why they maybe do act the way they do, because there's usually very compelling reasons for that.
Across countless headlines and comments, over the years, many in the press have tried to make sense of Meghan's actions by asking the question, is she a narcissist?
They were piling on Meghan as a liar, as an insufferable narcissist.
Very narcissistic, very controlling, very dominating.
This is narcissism off the scale.
But is this fair or even accurate?
So this is Meghan Markle's clapback to H.G. Tudor. And I find it very suspicious they didn't include him in here. So this is all Meghan Markle's clapback. You know, she has her ways of getting back at everybody who says anything while keeping her hands clean like she's not involved, even though I suspect she wrote the entire script of this whole thing.
The word narcissism is one that is thrown around left and right. And people do these armchair diagnoses, and they think that anyone who appears to do anything selfish or self-centered is a narcissist. But narcissism, true narcissism, really is quite rare.
Right above Meghan?
I don't think so. Not with social media, it ain't.
I wouldn't define Meghan as a narcissist, partly because I've never met her. So how could I? Narcissism.
Exactly. That's the basis of this whole thing. They've never met her, so, but yet they're going to put their credentials and say, oh, I'm analyzing her, even though they should be starting out, each of them saying, well, this is just my interpretation, but I can't do a formal diagnosis.
Narcissism is a personality trait. We all have narcissistic traits. That just means that we all have a level of self-involvement.
We can have healthy narcissism. Narcissism, I think it's really useful to think of it as more of a spectrum.
Some of us may be further along that spectrum than others, but actually it's okay to have a self-interest. It's okay to strive. It's okay to want good things for yourself.
I love it. Meghan is a gladiator. In my understanding, there is an overlap with narcissistic traits. Part of that means that this gladiator develops the ability to push for what they want. They become...
Oh, so now is gladiator in the DSM? That's the right phrase for it. The psychological diagnosis catalog. We now have gladiator, as Meghan added a new psychological profile now.
Very ambitious. They are the CEOs of the world.
I'm a big fan of Suits. That's really new to me.
Of course, she's one of the CEOs of the world.
The downside being that other people can feel bruised by them, bullied by them even. Sometimes they can come across as cutthroat because they take a very single-minded, focused approach to life.
I think Meghan's got no...
All right, she's not a bully. No, she just has a single-minded approach to life. She's a gladiator, not a bully. Come on now. Psychologist said so.
Narcissistic tendencies, which a lot of ambitious, powerful people have. She's tenacious, she's determined, she's ambitious, she's driven.
That natural toughness, even self-centeredness, is rampant in one profession: show business.
Successful actors are those people with a self-determined route and a determination to be at the top of the game. That takes a certain amount of ruthlessness to make sure the light is always showing on you.
Smile, beautiful! Meghan, like any other successful actor who's come up through the ranks, is going to be doggedly determined, because that's what got her there.
Oh, so now she's not a narcissistic bully. She's just another actor or actress.
This is that level of narcissism that we would say can be perfectly healthy and appropriate. But I think when we see what happened in that situation with the royal family, it was not welcome. Self-interest was not on the agenda.
Very quickly, you might be getting the kind of Dorothy in Oz moment. We're not in Kansas anymore, and maybe what worked in the past is not working in the present.
I mean, in reality, a narcissist's dream might be to become a princess. To achieve something that looks like ultimate special status, to be royalty. But this wasn't a position of importance. This was a position of duty. This was a position of selflessness and sacrifice to an extent.